Hello there folks and welcome to part 58 of the Snooker 19 playthrough with Neil Robertson of the career mode. Today it's time for the start of the Coral Players Championship, a tournament in real life that Neil got to the final of. I remember watching it actually, and he was beaten by quite comprehensively by Ronnie O'Sullivan by 10 frames to 4. Robertson was in the match, but O'Sullivan was just a different breed, as he has been so many times throughout his career. But getting to the final will be something I'd love to do here, particularly after an interesting snooker shootout. I guess the length of the video being 20 odd minutes gave it away that we went out pretty quickly, but I did not expect to go out of the shootout in the second round. But mind you, it doesn't really matter too much. And we move on to the fifth last tournament rather of the season. After this we have the Gibraltar Open, the Tour Championship, the China Open and the Worlds. Effectively the Players Championship is just the top 16 players. It is a ranking event unlike the likes of the Masters. The Masters is an invitation. I'm not being thick, am I? Yes, it is an invitation. That's absolutely fine. So everyone from Gilbert all the way up to Selby are involved in this tournament. And for the last 16, we've managed to draw Stuart Bingham, a player who we did play in the Masters, funnily enough. Just check that these settings are all on okay. I am going to come out that lavender waistcoat this time. I'm going to go back to the charcoal stuff and go... I actually quite like that Imperial waistcoat. So we'll go with a Legend shirt, or... No, we'll go with a white shirt, but we need to change the tie to something a little bit better. Yeah, I quite like that. So let's get on with the match against Bingham. Now, we did play Bingham, as I said, in the Masters back on episode 45, and we beat him by 3 frames to 2, but that was a particularly scrappy game. We weren't really up to our best. We gave Bingham 2 frames, really, and we were lucky to get through that match. Hopefully, it's not a similar thing today, unless it's a really exciting match, of course, which would be great for you guys. But I suppose as long as we win, we can conclusively win this 3-2. You know, against players like this in the Players' Championship, over a length of 5 frames, you would probably expect it to be 3-1 or 3-2, because I wouldn't say, unless we lose, like we did against Luca Brazil, for example, in the Grand Prix, you wouldn't expect it to be a 3-0 walkover, especially from us. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think I've got it in me to beat the AI, someone like Bingham anyway, by 3 frames to 0. But let's keep confident. There's no need with that pessimistic attitude. And it is us to make the first break. And thank God this time that there's no stupid rule about having to make it within 10 seconds and us getting all flustered about it. Bit of a hard break, but that's exactly what we need. I think we've finally learnt now we need to play the breaks a little bit harder just to get the ball back up to bulk. But ultimately, we've still left a starter on, I think. Just going to play safe on this, which I don't really blame him for doing. But that is a very bizarre safety shot. Well, not sure what he's played there at all. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose he's just trying to... we will play with some top here to try and get off this cushion. But I suppose he's hoping that we miss this. Or something along those lines. But that was a very peculiar safety shot. Again, whether it was intended or not, I've got no idea. Do we have the bravery to play the black? I think I will go for the black here. But we are going to have to play it into the reds, really. If we want to enhance this break at all. So we're going to go for it. We're going to be daring and take it on. And the black's there. And that should be a half-decent split. Certainly not a bad start to our match. I said a bit peculiar from Bingham to take that decision to play that safety. Again, it might have been a mistake. Now, I could play this shot, but I think that's incredibly tight. As, to be fair, or any of the other shots that we can take on here. But I think the one with the least risk, without playing a safety, of course, is to play this red to the middle pocket. I think it looks about right. I'm just worried because this is huge in the context of the frame, really. If we went and played this and missed it, then there is a possibility that Bingham could quite easily clean up in one visit. But that's a good shot on the red. That'll certainly do. And we sacrificed position a little bit there just to make sure we did get that pot. But ultimately, a good start and good foundations laid now with a good split to hopefully go and get a good break and who knows, maybe win this frame in one visit, but that's not the priority at the moment. The priority is to build up a decent break. That brown needs to stop because I want that red to the middle. That's perfect. It's absolutely fine. Don't quite like how all the balls are out of position in terms of the colours. That's a little bit disconcerting, but not too much of a problem. We can revert those back to where they were. Fairly quickly, I'd say. If we play that, just got to be... Hang on, I'm just checking the position. If the cue ball ends where it will, quite close to this red that the blue is, it's not parallel to, but if we look at this end, it's the one that the blue is directly in front of, so blocking. So if we come this side, will we be able to get to that? No, we'll have to play the tight red, so I think we might be worth playing more.
Sometimes playing this slowly can upset your flow. Maybe he just needs to get on with it and get his rhythm.
Yeah, alright, Hendon, calm down. Sorry, folds. How dare I say Hendon. It's a little bit of an awkward shot, this, to be quite honest, so I think we're just going to have to, well, not play with massive amounts of top, but I think we are going to have to try in effect and try and maybe come up and down the table, or what we've actually gone for, and just hope that the ball doesn't travel too much, and that's absolutely perfect, that's absolutely fine. Maybe overdone a tad, but I think that's still achievable for the red. And if we tap the... I'm not willing to take that really on at this point. I could tap the red and try and get it in good position for the black, but then again, there's just no point risking that at this point. There should still be a way through, I can imagine, for the green. I might be completely wrong. No, there isn't. So we have to play the pink, which gets that back in its position, which isn't the worst thing in the world. But ultimately, it does leave a nice red on. And this is fairly straight, so no real complications, I'd argue, with this. A little bit overscrewed to what we wanted it, actually. Pretty a lot overscrewed. But luckily, there's another option. There is this pot here, which leaves the black on. So there's always a few options, but again, it's a little bit touch and go. So I think we might still go for this one red. I don't mind the sound of that too much. We don't need to play with any top particularly. Just want to play it nice and gentle. The red's there, fine. What's the position looking like? Hopefully we can bounce it off the cushion. Well, the pink's exactly where the brown would go, wouldn't it? But we'll still play it regardless. It doesn't really hurt. As long as it... I'm not really sure what happens here, but as long as it doesn't go on the... that ball doesn't go on the blue spot, this position here should be fine. Try to play across the table for the red that was blocking the blue in effect. Oh, it has as well. Has gone to the blue spot, but actually we got away with that because, as you can see visibly, there's more than enough of a gap for us to go through to get there. That's a little bit poor. That's not gone as far as I'd have liked it to. So we have to resort to something a little bit awkward here, but a decent start for us. I mean, Bingham played that one safety shot, which, based off this break, was not safe whatsoever. A little bit tighter than I've liked here, but again, that's not really much of a problem. Should be fine. Yeah, it is. And that's nicely done for in effect, the blue. Yeah, I could have done with it being a little bit further up, though, to get the position on these reds. Might it be safety time? I think it might. Let's just check. From the top of the table, I think these two reds block each other, don't they? I'll just check by all bases. I'd hate to play a safety and he's still be on. I mean, if it's here, for example, he can knock that red in, can't he? But it's pretty marginal. So, as long as we get it up to past the pink, I would say, get it behind the green for that ultimate safety, I would argue. And we should be safe. It's not about getting a snooker, it's just making sure we don't leave those pots on, but it would have been a very tight touch on that. We did get it though. So no worries of that red becoming available, or the two reds rather that were there. And just going to have to hopefully play the free cushion route here to get back to a similar position. That's not all that bad, depending on how this ends. Ooh, nice. It hasn't quite touched the pink, which was ideal. That should suit. Luckily, that brown's helping us quite a bit in the middle of the table in the end, so that's nice to see. But he's played a safety down here, and once again, he's left a little bit of a chance. But ultimately, I don't think I'd want to take that on for 1 second, so...
This is developing into a fascinating safety.
It's an interesting safety battle, I agree. Which we initiated, of course. I think we've actually just helped ourselves there, because we might have left one red on. But by moving that one red, it's in effect snookered the other one. He might go for this. But no, he's nowhere near. So he's made a mistake there as Bingham. I have to say, one of the more bizarre players I've played on the hard AI. He's not got off to a start at all here. And usually the AI, especially if you make some sort of mistake,
Centre here.
or you don't even have to make a mistake, their safety is usually top draw. But
Nicely onto the card.
on that occasion, really not. But what some people do say in the comments of my videos, which I suppose is right, that I don't really give myself enough credit when I have a good performance. So I say, well, you know, it's the AI. But sometimes I suppose it's not. Just trying to get this in a half decent position for the red. It's a little bit awkward being absolutely straight on with the green. We pulled it back enough just to get a sensible, lookable angle, if you like. That's a little bit awkward on the pink and not as good as I'd have liked. Mind you, if we hit it there, hopefully it comes back off the cushion, but the priority is getting the red, which we have got. Yeah, there we go, that's what I thought would happen, it's come off the cushion. But that's not all bad. I mean, there's a long pot on the brown on, there's the yellow to middle, but I think brown to here is probably the best bet. Because then actually we can try and move these two reds while we're at it. Got to hit this at exactly the right power though, that's the problem with side shots.
He's taking this on.
It's there. And we've moved those two reds. Whether it comes to any effect is questionable. And it does. So it's always worth having a go at those sort of shots. But we haven't started at all badly in this match. That'll do.
10.
Ooh, that's tight. But it's effectively a straight shot. And actually it puts the blue back on the middle spot. Which I'd quite like at this point. But I think that should have no problem with going in, I don't think. We'll see when we take it, I suppose, now. But yeah, that's fine.
Just outstanding. Superb pot.
And now we've got this red to take. And I have to say, I mean, it's only one frame in, yes, and Bingham might well come back. But so far, I think we played really well. Certainly compared to what we've done previously against players that are in the top 16 on this hard difficulty. Try and get this fairly close to the cushion. It's a little bit tricky with the potting angle of the black. But that's fairly close. Divert a little bit further away, but I think this should still be fine for a cushion pot. It's a trickier one. But he's still got to come back with a fair break now as Bingham. So it is just the red required. Might not get this, but we'll have to have a look. No, it's dropped. And that, barring any snookers or silly shots from us now, is the first frame. And we take the black for good effect. And I think we'll just play the safety on the reds now.
31.
Just simply just this. Maybe even try to get it behind the black, who knows. Certainly if it's close to the black we won't leave anything on, which we don't.
Got the snooker.
Neil Robertson.
And we got the snooker and Bingham just said, nah, you're alright. So I'm a bit surprised there that we won that so easily. I'm sure he won't give the next few frames away so easily. But Bingham breaking from the other side, something we don't see all that often. But something that Ball Run is doing here. Ball Run Bingham. I used to call him Big Ball Bingham. Absolutely no reason why. I don't get it. Or has he left a pot on again here? No, I didn't think he had. I was about to say, I was like, Christ, surely he hasn't. But he's played a decent shot here. As you would expect. Just play this thin and hopefully get it sort of up to the yellow. That's the aim. So play it bit curved. And hopefully just get it behind the yellow. Could be any of the colours. That's too hard. That's too hard. That's definitely a pot being left on. But Bingham didn't go for a pot the first frame. He played safe. But I just wonder if we're one frame behind now and a few more balls out, whether he will go for the pot. We'll have to see.
This won't be easy.
Yep, he is going for the pot, and he's potted it. So we're going to have to see how he gets on here. Just a bit of a misjudgment. We tried the safety. It didn't really work.
8.
So let's see how he gets on here.
9.
Stable start, as you'd expect.
Yeah, played it well.
16.
A delicate touch.
Very tight on that red by the black.
17.
Any further down, he could have been in a little bit tricky territory, but at the moment he looks fine. Is he going to open up the reds here? Yeah, he's played that with some force, but actually has been a little bit unlucky with that. He's going to have to play this up the table, and he doesn't get it.
Stuart Bingham.
Something that happens to us all too often. We get a little bit unlucky. But I think it's worth playing this again. You know, if we don't get it in, it doesn't leave too much on. But there's not really any better upshot. And there we go, we've got the pot.
Simply brilliant.
Could have done with playing it a bit hard, actually, to be better on for the yellow, but no loss. I think we'll play the brown here. Just got to get this absolutely right, though. Or else there's no point of us taking it on.
He's taking this on. No,
Oh, I don't know what that was doing. That was way
Pretty
off.
close though, but that won't provide any solace.
Bit of contact with the black might help things, who knows.
Neil Robertson.
No, that was nowhere near. Bit of a weird shot that was, and, well, Bingham was allowed to make a mistake there. That was way off, that brown. And with the pace it was played at, I thought, oh god, this is going to can into all the reds here. But actually, it's not done all that much damage.
Drop this into the right corner.
Yes, it leaves this red on, but we've got a peculiar state now where the black's not down there. So this could play, not necessarily into our hands, but it won't be easy for Bingham. Now, to have one of those reds in the middle of the pack or go to the middle pocket, I don't think they will. No, it will. It will. It's always tricky to see sometimes overhead, but that's end of break. Yeah, surely. I don't think he could have hit it that hard. But it's end of break, but ultimately he's probably played a decent safety there.
He looks like he's trying
But the reds are all down in one position now. So really there's not much that we can leave on here, which is a nice thing. But we played this a little bit too hard last time, so we're going to try and play it at about 36%. Oh, just hit the cushion, don't go in the pocket, that's exactly where it's going. Ah! After a flawless first frame, we're not playing well here.
He's looking to pop this.
You always flirt with that sort of danger. And again, Bingham, much like the first frame, he made a few mistakes. Has done, but he's sure. Now he should be gifted this first frame. But it's not all over, because the position of the reds is still a bit skewy and precarious. Can't play the pink here, can he? It'd be a tight one.
Right up his street.
Playing the blue, he's missed it.
No, not this time.
Well, you do wonder why, if whether he's played that for safety purposes, because he's not really left much on in the way of easy pots. But I think at this point, we might as well go for this red. And we've got it. Effectively the third chance now to get back in the frame. No, it's fine, because the blue's not going to go there, so that's no loss. I'm just going for the red that's next to the pink. That's the only one that will go, of course. But because the blue's not on its spot, we've got no danger of the blue getting involved. This could be a very good shot, if it goes in. Risking quite a bit here, but now it's a good split.
9.
Unfortunately, though, the position is a little bit precarious. The black might well be our best hope here.
Just wants to sink this into
Not a fan
the
of
left
these
corner
shots,
pocket.
but it's there.
And in it goes.
So we're going to have to play the red on the cushion now. There's going to be a few tricky shots. You know, he doesn't miss easy shots, Bingham, so there's going to be a few tricky shots just to try and get out of. I'm just wondering where the... Can't see the white... What's it, the where the cue ball's going to go. I think it should just stay about there, so let's focus on getting this pot. It's on the cushion, so got to get this exactly right. That should drop, which it does. Yeah, that's fine for the black.
17.
I don't think we can get away with playing the black here. Certainly not position-wise. But ultimately, look at the pink. We've got to go for the black here and just hope we get some lucky bounce. But I'm fairly sure from the other side that the red won't go. No, it won't, as you can see. So we've got to hope that we get some miraculous position on these. It's the only reason we can't play any sort of spin into them is because we're on the cushion. So even if we don't, even if we play this and get no position, at least we can play some sort of safety.
He's played that very well.
24.
Ooh, well, there you go. I didn't think we would get position, but as you've just seen there, we have. Got to get this right, though. We've been gifted a bit here. Very lucky.
Nicely onto the pink.
25.
Got to take the pink on here. Just have a look at what the options are, though. However, mind you, can we take the pink on, and then get if we get back to that sort of position, that should be absolutely fine. Fingers crossed. Got to work for this. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I think we played well here so far. It's nice. It's nice to play well for once. Feel like you've definitely been rewarded. Because we were faced with a tricky situation. I mean, it's not all over yet. There's still two reds to go in the frame. It's still wide open. I think we've done well so far. Make sure this gets to the pocket, but we don't want to play it with any excess power if we can help it.
They'll want this to drop into the centre pocket.
That wasn't too far off not dropping, you know.
38.
A little bit worried about that. Get rid of that though, the penultimate red. And the colour will put us equal with ball running. Or actually ahead of him rather. But pink's the best option here, isn't it? Yeah. Certainly for a pot on this
We could take the lead here.
red. Got to
Great play to get back
which
into
we
the
have,
frame
I think.
dead and gone. But
Certainly a
this is where the
possible
pressure
angle
starts
there.
to mount.
Some great snooker being played at the moment. I'm really enjoying this.
So am I actually. Much more than the shootout.
46.
Just got to bear in mind position on the yellow, and the yellow's right up on the bloody
for it.
cushion. I think we take the black and just see what comes of it. Get the maximum amount of points possible, and then see what we can get.
Would you believe it?
I think I've snookered myself, ain't I? Ah! Any harder, we would have been fine. That's so annoying. Oh. So it's not all over yet. Now I wonder, and I'm just going to try this. I think we've got the points to be able to try this. If we just don't hit the yellow, will he make us play on from here?
Not what he intended, and to be honest,
No,
I'm
he
sure
won't.
what his intention
I think
was.
that's a decent penalty to play. I know it's fiddling with the system a bit and
Robertson,
with the
59.
silly AI tactics, but I personally think that's a decent position. Jesus, he's no way has he potted that, has he? Oh, I thought he had. But he's given us a narrow chance at this, and I just think after the position we're in, you know what, I'm tempted. Go on. Oh, it's dropped. Where have we got away with that? Mind you, we've made the right decision. We took the lap damage limitation, accepted that we'd snookered ourselves, and got on with it. No, I don't think there's anything too wrong with that. Yeah.
He's aiming to sink
This brown's got to get to
right
middle,
corner.
really.
That's a top
Hopefully
shot.
this stops. Stop.
Doing.
Should be fine. What's the points gaps? It's 13 points. So we still need the blue, amazingly.
Really is tricky.
Shows how tight this has been.
Beautiful pot.
He couldn't have played that any better.
But with the blue, we will go. Barring any silly shots, I
Just
say
the
every
blue
time.
required.
2-0 up.
And in it goes.
Got to get his act together now as Bingham.
Shuts the door on his opponent in this
I think
frame.
I've played well here. I know I keep saying that, but it's nice sometimes just to acknowledge you've played well. Yes, we might well have been given the chances by the opponent, but ultimately, like every sport, every walk of life, you've got to take that opportunity. Might as well play the black. If we miss it, doesn't matter. We're plenty of points ahead. And after 2, we are 2 up. Very impressive and very nice position to be in. Puts the real pressure on Bingham.
27. And the frame.
But we just want to make sure we don't become too lax because of that. We don't want to give up that 2-frame advantage. Yes, we might have to accept that Bingham might win 1 frame.
Thank you.
But we don't want to be too lax and and do what we've done so many times and be in this position. I remember even back to the Shanghai Masters, for example, when we were 2-0 up against Sean Murphy and ended up losing that 3-2. Of course, there's been plenty of times we've been on the right side of that, where we've been 2-0 down and won 3-2, but I'd say the latter's a lot nicer than the former, but he's made another mistake as Bingham. Oh, no, I don't fancy that personally. Just got to hope this is fairly thin, so it doesn't give him an opportunity. I think, looking at the situation,
So the long
if
red
we
to the corner
miss
pocket.
this, it doesn't really leave much on, does it? Because we're playing for a colour, so we'll be playing for position on a colour. So I don't think we lose too much out of this. We've actually missed it by a mile. And it's not quite come as far up the table as I'd hoped. But luckily the one that we've just missed isn't on. There's a tight chance on the red by the black, but I'd be pretty brave to be taking that on. Looks like he is. And to be fair, he's potted it. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. I just didn't think there was much point playing safety in that situation. And he's going to open up the reds here. So again, much like the second frame, he has got a chance here. So whether he can take it. Beforehand, I've gone, oh, what a stupid decision. I don't think it was a stupid decision. It's clear that long pots have been made a lot harder, because as you can see, that was a mile off. But I think it was worth that. It was worth a go.
12.
Because I don't think he's going to take too much damage here. I don't think he's going to get a century. I know, famous last words, but I don't know. I think those reds are a little bit too tight, and I think he certainly so far has lacked the willingness to open those up.
21.
You can argue he's lacked the chance to open them up. But we'll have to see what he does.
25.
Still plenty of time to go in this frame. Could be over very quickly, or he could falter like he did in the last frame. I'm having a long hard think about this shot, but surely there's only one shot to play. Yeah.
26.
Now he's on for the black, but he's got to be careful here because he's got to get position right, which he has. He either had that or the tight reds on the middle pocket, and I wouldn't play them if I was him. But now it is just definitely the tight reds to the middle.
41.
So it's either a safety or a tight pot here. I'm interested which one he'll plumb for. Bear in mind, if he tries to play this up bulk, there is a red up there. So I think he's got himself in a little bit of a sticky situation. Playing safety. Oh, wow. Well, if that was planned, then fair play. But after all that, it seems such a shame. After all that, and possibly fluking that red off. What was it? 2 cushions? 3 cushions? After fluking that, he's not really got much out of it. I'm going to take this red on. Once again, if we miss, it's not much of a travesty.
This is really
But we'll try this. And sometimes it's worth going for it, as it was there.
1.
Mind you, the problem is that I think we're just going to have to belt this and hope that we open up the reds. Which we have. Don't pot a red, though, for goodness sake. Oh, we've got away with that. Our splits, I think it's just making up for a lot of episodes of being unlucky with splits, because so far we've had some really nice splits.
9.
I mean, ideally, from this position, I'd love to round out the match. But let's take it ball by ball, eh? That could be coming too far. I think it is for my liking.
16.
But there is this red still on. And if we play it at such an angle that it hopefully doesn't cannon too badly into the other reds, I think it's worth taking it on. But we've potted it anyway. It did cannon quite badly into the other reds, actually, so it could have been quite sinister had we not potted that. But sometimes you've just got to take a chance. And that's exactly what we did there. But I think we're in control here, as we have been, arguably, I'd say, for the whole game. A little bit disappointing display from Bingham, particularly considering that guys that are nowhere near his ranking have provided better displays.
23.
And given that this is quite a big tournament as well, mind you, we've got this too close to the cushion. Brown will go. I think it's best playing brown. Now I just want to get the brown and hopefully bring it back decently down the table so we have an option for a red. Or preferably that red that's there. I think that's cut very well. Yes, it has. That's brilliant. Right. So let's play that shot again to get on the blue, but we'll be nowhere near as close to the cushion as we were last time.
28.
It's a much better position to fiddle around with, as you can see. Can play with a lot more spin now. That's what we wanted to do first time round, but amazingly we've had the second opportunity to do that this time.
33.
Ignoring the shootout though, this is going to be our third successive quarter-final appearance should we get there, of course. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves just yet. We fell straight into that bloody trap again of being too close to the cushion, I think. So now, don't count your chickens, Toby, too quickly. But that being said, we can go over to this cushion and try and pop the red from there. Or, of course, you've got the red on the cushion. I'll just say that's the one I played for rather than this one. But that's one that needs to get out of the way, really. It's a tricky one. Soft's the way to go, though, with that sort of shot. And we've got the pink there that we can play. Just got to bear in mind, though, that the red... a bit of a dilemma we got now, because the pink will go... Mind you, no, I don't think it should make too much difference. Because if we play the red, yeah, that should be fine. It's alright, the pink will go back on its spot, won't it, of course?
This has been a great fight back.
But because it's above the red and not below,
yes,
it's fine.
Impressive. Some great snooker being played here.
Could have done that with that being a little bit higher. But actually, it won't go. It won't pot, that's a shame. Just play this soft then and get over to the other cushion. So break of 46. And we are 4 points ahead with just one red left and 35 points on the table.
46.
He's playing the safety and aiming to get the cue ball.
Playing the safety himself. But again, I don't know what's happened to him today. I thought, oh, he's got the snooker, the jammy so-and-so. But he really hadn't. And we've took the pot as a result. We haven't missed all that much today. And I think that's definitely helped. We took our opportunities well.
1.
But once again, this isn't over yet. Some very challenging shots still to play.
This isn't easy.
No, it's not easy, but it should be okay. Which it is.
Goes.
Of course, needs to play for the yellow.
Of his game at the moment.
So what's the permutation? So we're
Opportunity, this.
9 ahead with 27 left. That's now 11 ahead with 25 left. So it'd be 14 with 22. And then 18 with 18. So if we get the green and the brown, all that he can do is force a respot.
10.
We need the blue, however, to confirm the frame. And the match, of course. Not going to say anything till we've got the blue. Don't want to jinx myself. But as I said, all he can do is force a respot from here.
Important pot.
Don't want to play this too hard and get a stupid foul or something. We've played the blue. That's fine.
Effectively remove any
Again,
idea
not going to call it over until it is. Fell foul of that before.
Playing for the middle pocket.
Pot in the pink, however, does mean it is over. Definitely. That is over now. Got a margin of, what's that? I think 19 points or something like that? No, it can't be. It's got to be 29, hasn't it? Because we were 18 ahead. Yeah, that's right. So, pot the black. And, well, I said at the start of this match, and this was genuinely intended, that I couldn't see this going 3-0, particularly in our way. And I wasn't joking about that. But funnily enough, that's exactly the way it has gone. Stuart Bingham, not in this match at all. And just what we need after a shocking snooker shootout. And we have won in the last 16 of the Players' Championship in a whitewash by 3 frames to 0. and are comfortably through to the quarter-finals. Who have we got next then? I'm guessing it's going to be somebody big this time, but it could be anybody. It could be anybody in this round of 16 format. Quarter-finals, who are we going to face? Could be any of the other top 16. It's Judd Trump. We meet again. We've met Judd Trump so many times. I would guess that the head-to-head is something like 2 each. I'll research that before the next episode. But we've got a bit of a rivalry with Judd, but to win this would be great to get through to the semi-final. So if you guys have enjoyed that match, leave a like down below. Comment as well your thoughts on the match, the championship, and our next match, of course, against Judd Trump. And subscribe for snooker content regularly on the channel, as well as MotoGP, retro stuff, and cricket. But until the next time, thank you very much for your company today. I've been TIJ Gaming, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.